One Monday morning, Katie and Belinda are on their way to the college canteen to get some breakfast before class when Katie suddenly stops walking. Everything is great. Her soccer team, the Brenton College Lions, is winning. Her college work is finished a week before time. It's a beautiful, sunny morning. More than anything, she just feels happy. Life is good, and she suddenly understands why. She's single. There are no men in her life. "Hey, what's wrong?" Belinda asks her. "Belinda, I've got it," Katie says. "Got what?" "The answer to everything." "Go on," says Belinda. "It's easy. Life is so much better when you don't have any men in your life. When you're single." Whoa, where did that come from? It's true, right? "You know, I think I agree with you," Belinda says. She just broke up with her boyfriend, Mike. "You're not still unhappy about Dwayne, then?" Katie doesn't want to talk about Dwayne. "Of course not," she says. "I'm so happy to hear that," Belinda says. "You were so unhappy before, talking about him every night, all that crying and... It's okay now. Believe me, I'm not going to do that again. I'm going to be single and happy. You watch." "When I think about my problems," Belinda says, "there's always a man somewhere. Not just your problems, everybody's problems," Kate says. She's talking to Belinda and not looking where she's going. "The world is a much better place without men in it," she says. But she can't open the door because a man is already holding it open. Katie puts her hand out, right on his arm. "Oh," she says. She doesn't know the guy, but he's tall, about her age, and he's smiling like he knows something she doesn't. "I'm so sorry." "No problem," he says, moving out of the way. "After you." Suddenly, Katie can't think of anything to say. Am I turning red, she thinks. I feel like I'm turning red. "Thank you," she says, almost running into the canteen. Belinda laughs quietly. "Stop it," Katie says, quietly. "He didn't hear us, did he?" "I think he did," Belinda says. "What are you having?" "Orange juice," Katie says. "Make that too," says Belinda. "I agree with you, by the way," the man says from behind her. "About what?" Katie says. "About men making all the world's problems. It's so true." He smiles again, and Katie is suddenly angry with him. She was having a happy Monday morning, but now she's turning red and talking funny and not feeling good about things at all. And all because of him. "Well, they do," she says, and turns her back on him. Belinda's laughing as they come out with their drinks. "What's so funny?" Katie asks. "You are," Belinda says. "That was so bad." "Was it?" Katie says. "Of course it was." "Well, we'll never see him again." Just as she says it, he comes out of the canteen towards them. "Oh no," Katie says. Belinda doesn't answer. She's just smiling. What's she so happy about? Thinks Katie. "Hey," he says, "can I ask you something?" Katie opens her mouth to speak. "Sure," Belinda says. "I don't want to trouble you," he says, with a smile, "but I'm looking for Dr. Lang's class." "That's our class," Katie thinks. What do we say? If we say that, he'll want to come with us. So we have to. "Wow, that's our class," Belinda says. No way, the man says. Do you want to come with us? Belinda asks. Great, he says. Thanks so much. I'm Leon, by the way. Belinda says. I'm Katie, she says. But nobody hears as Belinda and Leon are already walking. Belinda is embarrassing on the way to class. She laughs at everything Leon says, even though it's not funny. Leon says he plays basketball, and Belinda says that she loves basketball too, which makes Katie crazy because Belinda hates basketball. Katie can't believe Belinda's lying like this, and Leon must be really stupid, she thinks, because he doesn't see it. Worst of all, when Katie tries to say something, just to stop Belinda from embarrassing herself, it comes out wrong. And why does she feel so angry, anyway? She wonders. It's even worse in class because there are lots of people, and Katie has to sit behind Leon and Belinda. All the way through the class, Belinda writes Leon messages, making him laugh, but Katie can't see them. She stands up a little to try and see what Belinda's writing. Katie says that she reads, but then Dr. Lang calls out, Are you going somewhere? Katie's standing up, and everybody is looking at her. I'm sorry, she says, and sits down quickly. It suddenly feels very hot. Other students are laughing. Leon looks as though he is embarrassed for her. The only good thing comes at the end of class, as everyone gets up. I'm not doing anything for the next hour or two, Belinda says to Leon. We could get a juice or something if you have time. You only left Mike on Saturday, Katie's thinking. Sorry, Leon says. I'd love to, but I have to talk to Dr. Lang about my classes. Another time, maybe. Sure, Belinda says. Yes, thinks Katie. As they get outside, Belinda's waiting for her. Do you want to get a coffee? Belinda asks. Sorry, Katie says. I'd love to, but I'm busy today. Another time, maybe. Is everything okay? Belinda asks. There's nothing wrong, is there? No, there's nothing wrong, says Katie, walking away. Nothing at all. Yet, as the week goes on, Katie starts to see that something is wrong with her. She doesn't go to soccer practice and misses half of her classes. She tries to do some work at home, but finds it really difficult. Every time she tries to do something, she finds she's thinking about something else. She's thinking about Leon. She doesn't know why she's thinking about Leon so much after only meeting him once, but she is. When she's out, she hopes she'll see him, and when she doesn't see him, it makes her feel unhappy. And thinking about Leon makes her angry with Belinda. If she thinks about Belinda, all she thinks about is her laughing in the class, writing secret messages, and saying she likes basketball. It makes her want to scream. Belinda calls her a few times, but she doesn't answer. By Thursday, though, she understands how stupid she's being. On the way to class, she runs into Belinda. Katie, Belinda says, is something wrong? I've been calling you, girl. I know. Sorry, Katie says. I've been sick. Oh no, Belinda says. What's wrong? I don't know. Just sick. I'm sorry, Belinda says. In a way, though, I'm pleased. What do you mean? Katie says. I was just thinking. Nothing. What? Katie says. Just that you are angry about me and Leon. You and Leon, Katie says. I don't know what you mean. Just you seemed a little angry after class on Monday. So I thought, well, you were embarrassing, Belinda. Your secret messages in class, laughing at everything he says. So that's why you were standing up, Katie, and saying you like basketball. You hate basketball. I do not hate basketball, Belinda says. You do hate basketball, Katie tells her. She can feel her face going red. Belinda smiles. Oh, Katie, she says. Don't worry. Leon and I are just friends. What do you mean, you're just friends? What else would you be? And by the way, you're not even friends. You only met him this week. I know, but we meet most days and... Belinda, I don't care if you're friends. I don't care if you're more than friends. Really? Belinda says. Just, I thought maybe you like Leon. I do not, Katie says. Do you? Of course not, Belinda says. I mean, he's nice and everything. He's good looking, but I don't like him that way. Good, Katie says. I mean, me too. Good, Belinda says. Good that nobody's jealous. Good we have nothing to be jealous about. Yeah, it's good, Katie says. That's right.